Boxing back at it with another boxing video. It was good boxing heads and fight fans around the world. So I had to cover this fight one time because this was a real intriguing fight that I was really interested in. This guy, Lou Ben is a guy that I'd covered since the 2016 Olympics. You know what I'm saying? The man lost to a Kenyan cop. He was 21 years old at the time. He lost to a 35-year-old Kenyan cop by the name of Warui Mungai or Peter Warui Mungai. You know what I'm saying? And China was mad as fuck, man. The whole China came in my comment section. Man, they said all kind of nasty things and racist things to me, you know what I mean? And towards the Kenyan cop, 35-year-old cop who beat Lu Ben, okay? So, long story short, Lu Ben is not professional. He's 1-0. He knocked out some guy, or stopped a guy, I think from the Philippines, in like 3 rounds in his professional debut. So in his second fight versus Canizalez, aka Triple C, Lou Ben was stepping up. He was stepping up, man, stepping up his competition. His first fight, his debut was a 10 round. They stepped up for a world title fight for the WBA world title at 108 pounds. You know what I mean? At light flyweight. Big step up for the guy. You know what I mean? A guy Lou Ben was promoted by Manny Pacquiao Promotions, was trained by Bull Boy himself. You know what I mean? Manny Pacquiao's new trainer. You know what I mean? So there was a lot riding on this, you know what I mean? This guy was trying to break a record in boxing history for being the fastest ever to become a world champion in his second professional fight. As you remember, the man Lomachenko attempted to do that when he fought the man Salido, and you already know what happened, you know what I mean? Salido got in that ass, gave him that work, and he got the W via split decision. I thought it was a unanimous decision, but oh well, Salido still got the W. Anyways, man, let's get into this fight. You know what I mean? From round one, Canizalez was trying to test this guy and test his heart. You know what I mean? See what he's really about. Wasn't on that boxing stuff. You know what I mean? He was throwing his lead right hands, using the jab, going to the body. You know what I mean? Putting the pressure on the man, Lou Ben. Lou Ben in the first few rounds, actually like the first 4 rounds, was standing in the pocket, flat-footed with the guy. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to, generate power from just, his power foot just standing in the pocket. You know what I mean? Just trying to trade, which was a bad idea in my opinion. You know what I mean? The guy should have stuck to what he did from the amateurs. You know what I mean? Stick and move. You know what I mean? Try to accumulate points with landing clean, effective punches and get the fuck up out of Dodge. He wasn't doing that. You know what I'm saying? And Canizales was testing this guy's heart, you know what I mean? Landing vicious punches, uppercuts. He was mixing up the arsenal, you know what I mean? Throwing a lot of lead right hands because he couldn't miss with the lead right hand, you know what I'm saying? But he was mixing it up with the jab, body shots, you know what I'm saying? And he was throwing left and right hooks. You know what I mean? The man, Lou Ben, was trying to stand in the pocket and basically trying to trade tit for tat. But for the first 4 rounds, I gave it to the man Canizales. Round five is where I did give the first round to Lou Ben. Lou Ben actually now started moving, sticking and moving, you know what I mean? Throwing nice lead left hands, Manny Pacquiao style, you know what I mean? Without even using a jab and pivoting to get the fuck up out of Dodge. He was using a lot of motion movement, you know what I mean? And that's what you need to do against a guy who's coming forward like Canizales was doing all night, you know what I mean? Because Canizales had no respect for this guy. Like, how you gonna put this guy in the ring with me with only one professional fight? And the man Carlos Canizales was is like 20-0. You know what I mean? Only has one draw on his record with 16 KOs, and that draw came with in a fight versus Tagashi. What's his name? Tagashi. The guy who lost to Hecky Butler. You know what I mean? For the unified 108-pound titles. You know what I mean? So round six, I gave it to the man Canizales, but round seven and eight, especially now, let's get into round seven. Round seven, the man Lou Ben was now being very athletic, you know what I mean? Even fighting sometimes with his hands down. He was looked like he was in a rhythm, you know what I mean? He had his swag right. He was throwing punches and bunches, nice combinations, throwing hard shots to the body, you know what I mean? Left and right hooks to the body, throwing shots to the head. The man was pretty effective with his punch output in those rounds. But round seven was a round where um, Lou Ben, round eight, excuse me. Yes, round eight, Lou Ben was winning the round, but he got caught with three flush lead right hands from Canizalez. You know what I mean? And the third one actually wobbled the guy, Lubin, and Canizalez just went to work. You know what I mean? So that round could have gone either way. You know what I mean? It's like basically the round 10 between Badu Jack and Steven Captain. I'm sorry, Badu Jack and Adonis Stevenson, where Badu Jack was winning the round, but one punch changed that round around. As far as the one punch, the body shot Stevenson landed on Jack, and now Stevenson took control of the round. Same way this round went between Canizales and Lubin, round 8. You know what I mean? With that flush third lead right hand. You know what I'm saying? That had the man buckled the man Lubin's legs. You know what I mean? And round 9 and 10 and 11 and 12, it just went all bad. You know what I'm saying? It was all bad for the man. What's his name? Lubin. You know what I'm saying? He was getting pressured a lot. You know what I mean? It looked like he was getting tired, moving a lot. And he was moving a lot now, but he wasn't really punching back. You know what I mean? He was trying to evade punches. You check it. He tried to do a little head movement, use his legs a lot, but it wasn't effective enough, you know what I mean? Because he was still getting caught with punches and not throwing enough back. Even if you make a man miss, you still got to counter back, and that's what he wasn't doing. So those rounds, I had it for the man Canizales, you know what I mean? But round 12, Canizales, what was it? One round, which round was it? Let me look at my scorecard. Yes, round 11. Round 11, the man Canizales threw a straight left to the body, uh, a jab to the head with his left, a left hook to the head, four punch combination, and he finished it with a flush straight right hand down the pipe, and it knocked the man Lubin back on the ropes. You know what I mean? If the ropes, he didn't fall that completely on the back seat of his pockets, but he fell on his ass to the point where the ropes would have held him up. You know what I mean? So that was a 10-8 round right there, and round 12 was the beginning of the end because Lubin got dropped again. He probably got caught with like an 8-10 punch combination. You know what I mean? Started from the center of the ring and it ended on the ropes where that damn Ben Lou got caught with left hooks, body shots, jabs, and a flush lead right hand. Just one punch to seal the deal. Accumulation of punches in round 12 put the man Ben Lou on his ass. Damn near got punched through the ropes, and he got up. His legs were wobbly. The man got up at like the 2 count. Mind you, he ain't take his 8 count, you know what I'm saying? He got up at 2 real quick, had bad spaghetti legs. His eyes were glossy. The referee tried to tell him to come forward. The man just couldn't do it, and it got stopped. And they got stopped with 1 second left in the fight, man. This fight reminded me, that stoppage reminded me of Meldrick Taylor versus Julio Cesar Chavez in that unification fight they had at 140, where Chavez was losing the fight, but he knocked this guy Meldrick Taylor out with 2 seconds left in the fight, and Richard Steele called a stoppage. But in this instance, it's not quite as similar because Lubin was down on the cards. The guy needed a knockdown to win, you know what I'm saying? I had this fight 9 rounds to 3, you know what I'm saying? And one of those rounds was a sympathy round, basically. I gave that round 8, you know what I'm saying? Hop, what's happening? Hop, how you feeling, man? He's in the chat. He says, finally a good Saturday of boxing in 2018. We needed it. Excellent. It was an excellent weekend, man. You know, I was really looking forward to this particular fight I'm talking about, Lubin, and, you know, his handlers, Manny Pacquiao Promotions, or whoever else manages him, and Boo Boy. These guys, Boo Boy gave this guy, matter of fact, some good instructions in there. You know what I mean? He told him to, at a point in time in the later rounds, he was telling him to try to be on that amateur style. Move, hit and not get hit, and accumulate points, you know what I'm saying? And the guy Lubin, he just couldn't do it for whatever reason. I don't think he had enough stamina, you know what I'm saying, to be evasive and still be counterpunching, especially in the late rounds. You got to remember, he came from the amateur background where the most rounds he probably fought is 5 rounds in the AIBA, the AIBA Semi-Pro League, you know what I mean? So Boo Boy gave him some good instructions, but I don't know what made these guys think that this guy's ready for, at 23 years old, ready to fight a guy who's 20-0. You know what I'm saying? The WBA world champion. That was a wrong move, and these guys literally ruined this kid Lou Ben's career in one night. These guys should have learned from the same mistakes they did with Zhu Shiming, the Olympian from I think he was a double Olympian. You know what I'm saying? From 2012 and 2008 Olympics. You know what I mean? Gold medalist Zhu Shiming. Look at Zhu Shiming. Zhu Shiming didn't even last 12 fights in his career, and he's done. Detached retina. The guy's an older guy at 30 years old, so I could understand why they tried to push him. But still, they put these guys in with fights with guys who have professional experience. And that's where I'm going to always go with the guy with professional experience in the boxing ring over an amateur. You know what I mean? That's why my prediction previously I picked in the previous fight I talked about last night, Wasim Muhammad versus Maruti Muthalini, the Pakistani who has a vicious amateur record, versus Muthalini from South Africa, who is a former world champion. I just thought that the guy with the veteran experience was going to win the fight, and sure enough, he did. You know what I mean? And in the same instance with this fight, Lou Ben got, this guy's 23 years old, God, ladies and gents. I don't even think this guy's gonna. I'll be shocked if he makes it to 27 years old in the boxing pro game. What happened? What happened to him last night? That beating he took. Both eyes were messed up, and mind you, I forgot to tell you guys. This guy got rushed to the hospital after the fight. I don't even know the progress or if he's recovered. Both of his eyes were battered. The guy left the ring on a stretcher. You know what I mean? So whoever did this thought this was a good idea, putting Lou Ben in there with the experienced guy from Venezuela, who I'm sure is going to be a hometown country hero when he returns back to Caracas, Venezuela. Whoever thought it was a good idea, that was a wrong move, putting Lou Ben in there. And they set him up, man. They set him up. I'm not saying they set him up willingly. You know what I'm saying? Like try to throw him into the wolves. I mean, there was, why would they do that? They probably believed in this kid. This guy was training with Manny Pacquiao side by side while Manny Pacquiao was training for Lucas Matisse, you know what I mean? So he was there with one of the all-time greats, you know what I mean? Trying to learn from experience. But at the end of the day, there's only one Manny Pacquiao. And Lou Ben, I'm sorry for you, man, but I know China's going to be mad as fuck, man. That's in the last 2 years from that Olympic loss that he took to the Kenyan cop. Big ups to my man Peter Warui. You know what I'm saying? I was excited when you got that W. Go check out my video, man, when I covered the Olympics. Let me see what they're saying in the chat. Hop says, who do you think had the most impressive showcase? Pacquiao, Prograis, or Lopez? I'll tell you my answer after yours. Lopez. Who is Lopez? Oh, Teofimo Lopez. Okay. To me, the most impressive was Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? Manny Pacquiao got his first stoppage since 2009. He looked quick, fast, spectacular, punches in bunches, angles. He looked like his old self, you know what I mean? And he even was going to the body, which Manny Pacquiao rarely does, you know what I'm saying? Throwing different, um, you know, different tools to his toolbox, you know what I mean? But as far as Prograis, I expected him to knock out the guy. Some people say that he got exposed in that fight. I personally don't think so. The guy got the stoppage in 8 rounds and dropped the guy 3 times. A vicious puncher at that too, even though he's fought nobodies in Argentina. But the guy he fought, that Velasco, that guy's a good puncher, you know what I mean? And Prograis handled his business. Teofimo Lopez, the guy fought a guy who's lost to guys previously, like, what's his name? Uh, what's that Puerto Rican guy's name? A guy who lost to Lomachenko in the amateurs. Uh, he's even irrelevant now, so there's no need for me even to even dig in and try to remember his name. You know what I mean? So Teofimo Lopez on the come up, he did look spectacular as far as the damage he did, but that guy is not really a world class caliber fighter. If anybody had the bet, to me, the most impressive showcase last night was it was 3 guys. It was Pacquiao. It was all from the card from over there in Malaysia. Pacquiao. It was Maruti Muthalini beating Wasim Muhammad, and of course Canizalez. You know what I mean? Triple C, Carlos Canizalez from battering the man Lou Ben. You know what I'm saying? So I think those are the best 3 guys' performances of the night. You know what I mean? Yes, indeed. Hop says all had good outings. Personally, I was most impressed with Teofimo Lopez. Maybe because he was new to me. He really sparked my interest. Yeah, he looks spectacular. You know what I mean? But that's what he's supposed to do to guys at this level. You know what I mean? He's gonna be a good fighter on the come up. You know what I'm saying? So this was a good showcase for him on ESPN for the whole world to see, or the whole United States. You know what I mean? As far as the damage he did, but I don't really rate that guy he fought. You know what I mean? But the guy is these are the type of guys he has to fight to build up his resume, and he did. Felix Verdejo, he beat him quicker than Felix Verdejo did, who went the distance with that guy. You know what I'm saying? So overall, Hop, I agree with you. It was a great weekend of boxing Saturday. I was very entertained, especially with the Malaysia card, and oh, even the ESPN card. You know what I mean? Um, Hop in the chat says Lopez is an impressive combination of being both strong and quick. Also seems to have the eye of the tiger. No question, yeah, he does. You know what I mean? He has a chip on his shoulder for not making the 2016 or 2012, one of them Olympics. I believe 2016. 2016 Olympics, yeah. So he has a chip on his shoulder and he's trying to prove to himself and to the world that he's a fighter to be reckoned with in the future, and I believe he will be. You know what I mean? So he's a quick fighter, man, and he did look impressive last night. But that's what he's supposed to do to these guys. You know what I mean? B Marsh Boxing about to seal the deal on this chat. Big ups to my man's Hops for coming through in the chat. You know what I mean? I seen Hop in one of those comment sections. I think it was for Boxcaster, when they was talking about Deontay Wilder's manager was giving an interview. Is it Jack Diaz or something? And I seen how he agreed. I thought that was a very good interview, and there was a lot of clarification from that manager, Jack Reese of Deontay Wilder. So I thought everything he said was accurate because that's how I've seen it, even before hearing anything, before even hearing his interview. That's been my timeline of what's been going on with that Wilder and AJ situation. You know what I mean? And it's it's just it's a damn shame, man, that they don't want to make the fight over there. And you know, when Deontay Wilder they knew was going to send in that deal. Hey, they did what they had to do to make that fight not happen. But anyways, yes, indeed, Jay Diaz, yeah, Hop, that's right, yeah, yes, indeed, man. But yo, I'm about to step up out of here. Good luck, so everybody coming through in the chat, and let me know what you guys thought about Lou Ben and the kind of how they threw him to the wolves, you know what I mean? They threw him to the sharks, but he couldn't swim, you know what I mean? So let me know what y'all thought about the fight. B Marsh Boxing, I'm out of here. One.